Hi everyone, Sasha, Philip, everyone else at Thanyapura. Sasha asked me to let you guys what I do, and rather than put it in an incredibly boring document, I just thought I'd do a quick video to explain what we do in general. It's ad hoc, top of my head, no script, so if I mess up, I'm sorry, I'll probably repeat myself 100 times. So I do two things. The first thing I do is technology for cycling, swimming, bicycle, run, which I call free speed. And the second thing I do is the physiology side for the three sports. I'm used to be at university teaching. I'm not a run technique, I'm not a swim technique, but the physiology side and the technology side is my speciality. If I start with the technology side, cycling's been very, very well looked after for the last 10 years. Power meters, everyone knows about technology for cycling. But some new things for cycling too. We've got new sensors, Bluetooth sensors, connected to a headset very similar to a Garmin. You can do it indoors, but what is the key for all the technology I look after is that we can use it outside in real time, on the bike, on the track, in the pool. It's a huge difference. So these for cycling, they can go onto the feet, they can go on the legs, they can go on the pelvis, they can go on the torso. They can also, I know it looks stupid, but they go on the head. I can see Sasha's already laughing at me. So on the head, you wonder why. When we're testing aerodynamics on the road, we want to see how long people are holding their head down or up in the optimum position. So that's the little trick. That's free speed. Dropping your head, you can lose 10, 20 watts. That's 1 kilometer an hour. That's how important they are. Talking about aerodynamics, we do real-time aerodynamic testing outside. This is, again, something new called Notio Connect, and this connects to your bike, it connects to your Garmin, and inside here are accelerometers, gyroscopes. It measures humidity, temperature, air pressure, power, cadence, and all of that ultimately puts together to measure your drag called CDA. So let's say you go out and we do 3 kilometers out, 3 kilometers back in one fixed position. Download the data into the computer, look what your CDA, your drag is. Then we do a second out and back in a different position. Maybe the head down, might be a different helmet, might be different wheels, and you do out and back comparing which is the most aerodynamic. And again, it's real time outside. A wind tunnel's great. A wind tunnel's expensive, there is none in Thailand, and it's not outside in real time. I know Team Astana use it, and the other team, I can't mention the name, is the name that lost their sponsor recently. So there you go, you can now guess the other team might be using that. Now what we did notice is when people are doing the aerodynamic testing, is they keep looking down at the Garmin, which is really annoying because they're not looking and staying in that position where I want them. So we've now got these really cool glasses, which they're a toy, but they're not a toy. In respect, they are augmented reality, and your power and you can even link the sensor through to it, comes up like a fighter pilot, they're designed by a fighter pilot company actually, onto the lenses. So you can look exactly where you're going and you can stay in that aero position for that period of time at the fixed power without looking down. They're really fun. Sasha, I'll let you borrow those if you're lucky. Other technology we use, insole pressure mapping. Various sizes. Again, they got sensors, and these again can be used outside in real time, on the bike or even running. They're also now available for running, so we can see what's happening on the track. You can literally stand in the middle of the track at Thanyapura with an app, with these, watch them go around and see where the pressure is. Is it on the forefoot, the midfoot, the back of the foot? Is it any pronation, supination, stride length? There's a whole stack of stuff that you'll be able to get out from that. You've also got saddle pressure mapping. The saddle pressure mapping, absolutely key. If you think there's 2 contact points on the bike, the saddle and the feet. So those are the places you want to optimize. And if you use them together, you can then see what's happening when you're pushing down on the foot into the saddle, into the insole pressure. What's happening on the saddle? Are you balanced properly? So if you lose the two of them in conjunction on the road in real time, then you can see what's happening. In a lab is great, but it's not real time. You're in one fixed position. If you're out on the bike, you can put this on at the end of doing a 100-kilometer ride and see where that pressure really is. Moving on to swim. Now, swim technology has been lagging behind for years. There's a new company now that's brought out some amazing technology. This fits to the top of your hat. This goes on the bone, and it's called bone conductivity. And you can program into this using an app the pace that you want the person to swim at. And this will tell you if you're swimming too fast, too slow. It'll give you your lap times every time you get to the end of each pool. You can use an open water mode as well. You can even download the course route, and it will tell you to go left a bit, right a bit, you're on course. So that's something really new. There's something that's coming out in January. I'm getting the first prototype, and that's a swimming power meter. It'll fix to the hand, and it will tell you your force in newtons. It'll also give you more information about your stroke length, your right hand, your left hand. You can also place that swim power meter not just on the hand. You put it on the feet, you can put it on the pelvis, you can put it on the body. So as well as getting the power, you can also double up, and you can get what's happening to the rotation of the body. Is one leg swimming stronger than the other? A video is great, but it's not what you can really see. This is real time, exactly left and right, and it doesn't cost a fortune. So that's briefly all of that. I call it free speed. When someone does an aerodynamic test with me and I use the motion analysis outside, I normally save them minimum of 20 watts, which is 1.5 kilometers an hour. People like Lucy Richardson, one of your ambassadors, she's never had anything done, training, bike fit, aerodynamics. She's someone that I'm 100% sure can make huge gains from this type of thing. If we move over to the physiology side, then the physiology side is interesting now, because again, it's all portable, it's outside, it's mobile. VO2 mask, this is all it is. There's no cables, there's no metabolic cart. So I can now test someone in real time outside running. Just pop it on with the head strap. You can connect it again to an app on the phone, pop it in your pocket, get them to do their running around the run track with specific protocols. When they've finished doing their run protocols, then I do some lactate testing. And I'm sure Sasha and the rest of you are going, well, there's nothing new, lactate testing and VO2 max. What's different is how it's done. VO2 max on its own will give you one parameter. Lactate profiling on its own will give you a different parameter. If you put it all together in a completely different way, then you can get new information. There's basically, I'm going to bore you for 2 seconds now, there's 3 energy systems. There's oxidation, glycolysis, and there's creatine phosphate. They're the 3 energy systems. With this technology and the software that I now use, and it's the same software that was used by the world marathon record holder, I've forgotten his name now, Kipchoge I think, by your Kona champion Patrick, and by Team Bora, Peter Sagan, Lotto Jumbo, and the team that recently lost their sponsor. And the difference is you can model it. So everyone at Thanyapura will have a different metabolic fingerprint. Their physiology is different. One person will have a high glycolysis, another person will have a high creatine phosphate. With this, we get that metabolic fingerprint. We then look at them. Are they doing Ironman? Are they a swim sprinter? And we can then model how they can improve one of those 3 energy systems depending on what their goal is. Okay, I've done that bit. We also, as a backup, we have something called muscle oxygen, MOXIE. Now the muscle oxygen, this goes on any muscle in the body, and it's I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's an infrared light. That infrared light goes through the skin, it goes through the fat, it goes through the muscle to the blood capillaries, and it measures your muscle oxygen and your total hemoglobin. That again, completely mobile, waterproof as well, can use it for swimming. And this helps to see what your recovery time is. So let's say, Sasha, you're going to do some intervals on the bike, and your coach says do 4 minutes hard, 2 minutes recovery. How do you know that 2 minute recovery is recovery time? You don't. With this, you can see what happens to your recovery. So as soon as your muscle oxygen comes back up to a certain level, you know you can go again. That might be 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 3 minutes. So this is free speed, this is physiology, and this is something that I could help, for example, Miguel, one of the amazing swim coaches, one of the best swim coaches I know. Now, I know nothing about swim technique, absolutely zero. I drown in a swimming pool. But this is something that I could analyze some of his swimmers, and I could then tell to Miguel, hey, Miguel, this guy has a particularly high glycotic rate. So if we trained in this particular way, we might improve them a little bit. The same with your run coaches, the same with your cycle coaches. So it's like a holistic approach. You're taking your specialist coaches, you're taking the physiology, and you're taking the technology, and you put it all together. I love it. I feel like I've studied 2 or 3 PhDs. I was recently in Chicago speaking to Phil Skiba, who was behind the Nike Breaking 2 project. And I learned a lot about him, from running economy and even aerodynamics and drafting in the run, which I can tell you all about. I was recently also speaking at 1 a.m. in the morning with Dan Larong, who's the Peter Sagan's coach. He uses the same testing system for their team. And we were just talking about the metabolic footprint of everyone, including Peter Sagan. And he just said, Peter Sagan is an alien. He's not normal. What he can do is just phenomenal. And he's a bit of a crazy guy as well. So I hope I haven't bored you to death. I hope I've explained pretty much what I can do. And if you'd like me to come in and explain more, I'd love to come in. I can explain in detail. I can do some demos. We can test some of your athletes. Whichever way you want to play it is fine with me. So I know it's Christmas Eve now. I've made this. I don't know which day you're going to see this, but I hope you all have a happy Christmas and a great New Year. And I'll see you all soon. So, ciao.